What is up, all of you beautiful people? It's McNulty here. Welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. So we are finally today going to get our chance to do our dive into the beginner's guide for what is probably one of my favorite games at the moment. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb right now and I'm going to say this is my favorite game right now. It is an absolutely amazing game. And if you have just started it, I know the global release is going to be coming out on the 27th of November, so very, very soon. And this game is excellent. Now, I'm playing it on mobile at the moment. It is available on PC as well. It's already available on PC, but it will be coming to mobile on the 27th of November for a global launch. And it's an excellent game. The graphics and everything like that holds up really, really well on mobile. So I'm really glad because I like to be able to keep my games portable. But for today, we are going to be doing a beginner's guide. So I'm going to go through a few things that I've learned from my early access and help give you guys a bit of a head start as you start out with King Arthur Legends Rise. So the first thing I want to talk about is what everybody wants to talk about, and that is heroes. And this game is stacked chock-a-block full of heroes, and they give you some really decent heroes right away from the get-go. So I'm just going to go into the codex over here so I can show you a few of my favorites and heroes that I would definitely recommend you level pretty much right away. So when you start out the game, you are going to get for free, you're going to get this lovely lady called Morgan. Morgan is a fantastic hero. She will see you right through until the end game content. You do get her with a fire weapon. You can see you've got different weapons here. So you get the flame weapon, you get the ice weapon, and you get the storm weapon. Each of these weapons will have different effects on some of the special skills. So the way it works is below the weapon there, you can see you've got three icons. You've got the one on the left over there. You can see this one where she attacks an enemy 2 times with 52% attack and a 50% chance to inflict sleep for 2 turns, which is a good effect. It's really nice because if you click on that, it says no action can be taken during the turn and increases the damage taken. It gets removed upon being hit. So it basically awakens the sleeping target. So we've seen that before in other games. At least I've seen that before in other games. But then if you switch over to the next weapon, you can see that one's exactly the same. On the third weapon, it says, it's exactly the same. So some of them will change, but skill 1 for the first weapon is going to be the same. There, the second one is skill 2. So the relevance of these skills, before I get too far ahead of myself, is that skill 1 takes 1 point of vigor to use, skill 2 takes 2 points of vigor to use, and skill 3 takes 3 points of vigor to use. So you get a vigor bar, which can go up to a maximum of 5 vigor, and each of these talents take a certain amount of vigor. Using the skill 1, it increases the vigor bar, but they'll tell you that as you start the game. So you can see here, skill 2, it's a multi-hit attack. She attacks all enemies 3 times, dealing a total damage of just under 100%, 70% to decrease the target's attack gauge by 10% with every attack. So the attack gauge is key in this game. Attack speed is key in this game, and reducing the enemy's attack gauge is probably the best strategy at the moment for making your way through this game. You want to make it so that the enemy cannot hit you, and the less they can hit you, the more successful that you're going to be. So Morgan's fantastic. She does have a really awesome third skill as well. She attacks the enemy twice. She gives a recovery disruption, so it means that the enemy cannot heal itself, which is also, of course, that's pretty much awesome for everybody not being able to heal. But as you go through the different weapons, the different relics, as they call them, you will get sort of slightly different. So you can see there, the total damage reduces with that weapon, but there may be other effects, but you will get her for free. I think it's on, the first or second day, depending on, you'll probably just be playing through the story, but you get this hero for free with the fire weapon. And I would recommend maxing her or leveling her up as quickly as possible. Now let's go and have another look back at this codex. So you will also get this dude in here, Tristan. I would definitely recommend leveling him. You get him with his storm weapon, but you can, in the clan shop, once you join a clan, which will happen pretty quickly, you can buy his fire weapon. I haven't got quite that many coins yet, but you will get them pretty quickly. So I'd recommend holding on to and leveling up Tristan. Those 2 legendaries you get for free. On day 6, you get to summon another legendary hero, which is a guaranteed legendary hero. I summoned Lancelot. I've been using him. He's pretty good, but he's not quite as good as the other 2. I think that there are some more niche uses for him. And then Jillian, I was very lucky to get with the 10 pull that I've done. I'm keeping this completely free to play. So there are a lot of creators who are in on this game at the moment, and I know they're going pretty fast through things. They're like blasting through content, and they will do some stuff for free to play. But for me, I'm not about that. I like to take the game as it comes, take my time, make sure that I understand everything, and just overall enjoy the journey. So if that's what you're into, then I recommend sticking around on this channel. If you've never sort of gone on a journey with me through a game before, yeah, I guarantee you it will definitely be worth it, and I'll share everything. And I look forward to you guys sharing your feedback and things that you're learning with me as well. So yeah, Jillian was just a luck pull. But for now, I want to focus on those 2 legendaries that you will get for free. So Morgan and Tristan, definitely worth leveling up. And Tristan is worth saving up your guild coins so that you can buy his fire weapon or fire relic from the clan shop. In the rares, and so there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh gosh, I got to go back to the codex. Hang on one second. There we go. So there are no epic heroes in this game. There's only rares, legendaries, uncommons, and commons, which is kind of a breath of fresh air, to be honest. Otherwise, there's too many heroes. But you can see here, I've pretty much got most of the res. And like I said, completely free to play, maybe an hour or 2 per day for like the last week. And this is all of the legendaries, or all of the rares, and a few of the legendaries. So the hero collection is pretty good. It's leveling other stuff that kind of takes up a lot of your time, and there's a lot to do. But as far as heroes and who I would focus on right away would be this lovely lady, Kay. She is definitely worth focusing pretty much everything on when you start out. I already have her chivalry leveled up. Chivalry is what happens when you summon a duplicate character, where you can put dupes of a character to increase the character's stats. But this is a fantastic hero pretty much in all areas of the game, just a mega damage dealer. And they give her to you with the best weapon, which is the Striding Edge, which is her nature weapon. Now, elements are strong against certain other elements in this game. So, for example, fire is strong against nature, is strong against fire, I think it is. And I'm getting like off. But I think nature is strong against fire, and ice is strong against nature. I might be completely wrong on that, but you get my drift. So there is an elemental wheel, so certain elements are stronger against other elements in this game. And Kay is a freaking awesome hero, so you should definitely max out Kay as soon as you get her. She's 120% worth it. You can also, there's a little button down the bottom where you can test the hero's skills. You can do that even for heroes that you do not have. So if I wanted to test out a legendary that I'm looking for, I can go into the codex and I can test out every single one of their skills and see whether I like them or not. So that's awesome. And you can check it out at max power before you level the hero. Anguish is another great one. He will come to you as a free reward, and he will come to you from day 7, I believe it is. I think I just got him today, but it's the second copy of him. So yeah, I will be leveling this guy up. He's excellent for battle against one of the bosses in the dungeons called Gorgos, because he gets some pretty cool skills. I think it's his passive here. Effect accuracy, that's very important, but not the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, so he targets a target with damage over time. He gives a freeze effect, and that freeze, which is called chill, is for 4 turns, and then he increases the damage of the damage over time effect. So that can chop the boss down pretty damn quickly. You can see here it's his chances to inflict bleed. There it is. So he's the bleed damage, sorry, not the freeze. Yeah, it's bleed. I don't have him fully maxed yet, but I definitely heard good things about him. And I know that he's good for use against that Gorgos boss. So yeah, Anguish would be a good one to focus on as well. And then, who else do we have from here? I'll probably say those two and K have been my carries so far. And then, I mean, there are some other great ones in here, like Rosia is good, Clementine is really good as well. Um, and I would say probably want a healer. And there are two really, really good healers in the rares. So one of them is this lady, Sarah, who's looking very scared because she's carrying a sword or a hacksaw and she has absolutely no idea what to do with it. She's a fantastic healer that I would recommend leveling. You won't regret putting mats into her. And then Isolde. I went for Isolde purely because she has a cleanse. So when a 90% chance to trigger when an ally recovers HP and removes damage over time from the target. So if you're taking burn damage, which you will from that horrible Gorgos character that I was talking about a second ago, then she's your girl to be able to remove that damage over time effect. Forgive me, I am still relatively new in this game, but as we get to play more with these characters, I'll definitely help you out more. But for now, I would recommend leveling up Kay, one healer. She would be a really good option. And then Morgan, who's your legendary that you get, and Tristan, who's your other legendary that you get. So simple as those are your sort of starter heroes that you should have, and you get 4 heroes on a team, so that'll be plenty of heroes for you to go ahead and start with. Now, leveling heroes. So leveling heroes takes a few different things. It takes these things, which are EXP potions or experience potions. And then if I just go into the hero management over here, I'll just click on her. So if we go to hero power up, you can see she takes experience potions. And then if we want to level her or advance her, we need these things. So you need these, which are called fairy stones, and you need orbs. Okay, so you get different levels of orbs and different levels of fairy stones. Good news is these can be farmed, and they show you exactly where you can farm them. You can buy them in the clan shop, you can farm them in the main story, the market. You can pretty much get these things from multiple different places in the game. But one of the best places to farm these things is going to be in the dungeons, and that is where you get into some pretty hefty and hectic bosses in the dungeons, which you can be pretty much farming all day long. So it is quite a big thing to be pushing this. In the restricted area, you'll get the different dungeons. So the power-up dungeon has all to do with hero advancement and power-ups. Sorry, I'm just going to move myself over there. So you've got the Plane of Beasts, where you've got this horrible looking piggy over here. You've got the Burning Land, which is gold farming. And again, hero power-up items, mainly for the stamina, for the EXP. And that is the guy that does a bunch of burn. We've got the Frozen Plains, which is something that I haven't unlocked yet, where we got advancement for relics. And then we've got the Shrine of Storms. And this guy's a beastly character. I've only faced him in the clan so far. But these are awakening your relics. Okay, so these are going to be for powering up your relics. It looks like, let me just double check, advancing them and then awakening them. Okay, so these are all the different dungeons that you can farm for power-ups. But as you saw here, you've got loads of different things you can do. You can farm equipment dungeons. You've got your clan raids. I would recommend joining a clan pretty much as soon as possible. And then you've got your Forbidden Dungeon, which is like a tower event, Favored Dungeon, and the Sealed Temple. So there's loads and loads to do in this game, which I haven't quite unlocked yet. But I wanted to sort of tell you how you initially level the heroes, and what you're going to be looking for straight at the front end of the game is going to be with what I've mentioned there. In the power-up dungeon, you're going to be looking for your orbs and your fairy stones and EXP and lots of gold. And there is a bit of a problem with gold in the game at the moment. It's pretty hard to come by. You do need to do a bit of farming to be able to get it, but that is generally a sort of common theme among the early game in games like this, is that gold is pretty, sorry for poking you in the face, it's pretty hard to come by. That being said, yeah, I mean, I've only got like 45,000, but then leveling up a piece of gear takes pretty much all of that. And that brings me on to the next thing I wanted to mention. So you get equipment in this game is very similar to many other games that you will have talked or you will have seen before. Very similar to things like Watcher of Realms or Raid Shadow Legends, in that you get 3 pieces of equipment on the left side, 3 on the right side, but then you also get 3 at the bottom, which unlock later on. You get gear in the same colors as you do with the regular heroes. So you get common, which is silver. Don't think I have any silver pieces. I don't know. I might do. No, none. You get uncommon, which has got the green background, and then you get rare, which has got the blue background, and you get legendary gear, which has got the gold background. Now that only really dictates how many substats you get on the piece of gear. The star level, so you can see there, a uncommon piece of gear gets 2 substats, a rare piece of gear gets 3, and a legendary piece of gear gets 4 substats. And those substats, you can roll pretty much any of them. But the star level is the main thing you want to be looking out on or out for with your gear. So anything, it goes from 1 star all the way up to, I think it's 6-star gear. But the higher the star level of the gear, the further you can take the gear in terms of enhancement. But again, the more it costs in terms of your gold. So even like a 4-star, just to be clear, like a 4-star piece of uncommon gear is worth a heck of a lot more than a 2-star piece of legendary gear. I know that could be a bit confusing because legendary is better than uncommon, but it's more about the star level than it is about the sort of type of gear, whether it's legendary. It's just going to be the amount of substats that you can get on the gear. So that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it. The rest of it could be like a whole other video for a whole other day, and I'm sure that we'll probably get there at some stage. But for now, we're just going to focus on the basics of, you know, what you're going to be looking to do as a player starting out in the game. So far we've gone over the heroes that you should be leveling from the very beginning, how you're going to be leveling those heroes, so what materials you're going to be using, and the fact that everything costs gold, and then also the gear. So the gear in itself is, like I said, it's a whole nother world. So leveling a hero is one thing, but you will need to be maxing the gear at the same time. And that is pretty much all of the basics in terms of the heroes in the game and, you know, how you level them. Now, your summons are going to be over here in the lake. Some reason you go to the lake to summon, and you get pretty good rates on summons. I've done a video on summons where I dropped summons. You get pity. Sorry, I'm just dragging myself over the screen. Probably drag to that side because I've got the camera there. So you get pity after 60 summons, which is one of the lowest pities that I've ever sort of seen in any game. You get pity on the rate up summons that they do as well. And if the pity kicks in, you get a 50% chance to summon the rate up hero. So that is pretty good. Yeah, and as a free-to-play player, you are going to be able to make some pulls. Trust me, you're going to have enough pulls to keep you satisfied. You get 3 normal summons per day, and you get at least probably 5 or 6 of the special summons, sometimes more depending on how much you're going to be playing the game to start off with. So yeah, I'm not going to be doing any pulls right now, but I will do some pull videos. Everybody likes pull parties and pull videos and all the rest of it. Sorry for poking you again. I really need to get a PC and get this sorted. In fact, I've got one. I've got everything ready to go. But we will get there at some point. But for now, I'm just super excited about this game. So I wanted to get in early and show you guys a little bit about what the game looks like and maybe a bit of a different take than other people will do. So this is your base here. You've got loads of stuff here. You've got your castle, which you can level up. That increases a bunch of things for you. You've got your training quests, so they do train you. You've got basic training, intermediate training, which I haven't quite completed yet. And then I think you get an advanced training as well. Although they are quite intuitive in some circumstances. Like they kind of give you your own, they give you room to make your own mistakes as well, which is quite interesting, and it's quite a fun bit about this game. Now you do have to farm materials. You've got lumber and you've got steel. Those are used to level up your base. and build and enhance your buildings, your markets, your forge, etc. They don't. It's not a complicated system. It's just a lumber yard and a steel mill, and I hope they keep it that way because you can overcomplicate things. And let's just check in at the market. So this is something I'd recommend looking at pretty much every single time you check in, or every day at least. You can refresh this for free, and you can buy some of the orbs, the fairy stones, etc., etc. But you can also farm all of these materials, and whether it's your choice whether or not you want to be spending your gold on buying these materials. If you check in down the bottom here, so if just below the little icon, and we're going to click on that was the power up guide, so the one in between the heroes and the royal road, that will give you your daily missions. So you get daily tasks to complete, and when you complete 9 of your daily tasks, it gives you one of these, which is your special summoning ticket. So like I said, you get summoning tickets left, right, and center. Weekly challenges. Once you complete weekly challenges, you get 2 of those summoning tickets. And then your monthly challenges, once you complete those, you get 3 of your summoning tickets. So I would recommend going and checking into your missions and just completing those, because it will give you something to do, and it will give you some very nice rewards in terms of the summons and everything like that. The story. Okay, like I said, there's a lot to this game. You've got 2 stories. You've got the main story mode, and you've got the adventure mode. So the main story requires stamina for you to complete the stages. The adventure mode does not require you to have stamina to complete the stages. You need to complete both of them. I mean, this is the best way to start out is just to play through the stages. And then for each stage, you'll see there's a requirement for you to meet in order to get a 3-star ranking for the stage. Once you complete all of the stages with 3-star rankings, then you get the reward at the end of the stage. And they're not too difficult. Like I said before, if you just focus on maxing and leveling up those heroes that I said at the beginning, you will be more than fine. Trust me. So you'll have more than enough heroes to be able to complete and get through the story. I mean, there's 10 chapters at the moment. I'm up to the end of chapter 8. And it wasn't too bad, to be honest. And I'll show you my roster. So the adventure I've only completed a little bit, but that's not because it's hard. It's just because it's probably the one I'm most enjoying at the moment, and I kind of want to drag it out a little bit. So this game does give you a really good story, and it's really it's like a fun kind of, you've got some puzzles, you've got all sorts going on in this game, honestly. And you can zoom in all the way in, just check that out. So you can go right into the base and everything like that. Kind of nerding out, but it's still making me nerd out after a fair little while playing it. And I've done something now which I cannot undo. Let me just see if I can undo this. Right, there we go. Okay. What did I want to talk about? What else did I want to talk about? I'm pretty sure there was something else I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, I was just going to show you guys my roster. So this is where you go into for your hero management. You can see my roster here at the bottom. So these are my top heroes. So you can see Kay, I've got her pretty much all the way maxed out. Like I said, for chivalry, I've just gone absolutely bonkers. Like, these are all the duplicates or all the chivalry that you earn. You can either get it through these things, which are, I can't remember what they call them now, memory stones, I think, or through summoning duplicates of the character. And these will increase your defense and all kinds of other effects for the hero. So she's the one I'm pumping all of my duplicates into at the moment. We've then got, Lancelot over here, who's, let's just go to the leveling side of things. And where's the star level? Sorry guys, I'm trying to do, there we go. So he's only 4-star at the moment, and he's, these guys have pretty much helped me. He's 5-star, 4-star. I've got the fairy here at 4-star, should be Morgan as well. Like I said, I mean, these heroes are not like maxed out. There's no, I haven't got them quite to that final ascension yet. And you know what? That's fine, because the game is not as fast paced as everybody makes it out to be. You can take this game at your own pace. And if there's one little piece of advice that I can give you from this video, it is that you will get more enjoyment from taking the game at your own pace. And this was the other hero that I recommended to level. So really just focusing hard in on those 5, and I've got Anguish here ready to come up as well. Eventually, after time, you'll get time to level up all of the heroes and have an absolute ball with them playing. But yeah, for now, that's pretty much it. Let me just go back to the main sort of screen here. So literally, that is just a brief introduction. Oh yeah, one last thing, I promise. The Colosseum. So this building over here, this is the arena. You might know it as, yeah, there it is, the arena. So basically this is where you battle other players. And this thing is different than other games. It's only different because it's completely unlimited. So you can do as many freaking arena battles as you want to. Battle till your heart's content. It's pretty brutal. But it's also pretty good because you get rewards and you get seasonal rewards as well. Again, you know, it depends on your ranking at the end of the season. But this season, I think, is ending in a few hours. And I'm going to get a few hundred gems. I was a bit slow in the uptake, but this can be a really, really good place. They do have their own shop as well, where you can buy the special summon tickets for 150 arena coins. Like I said, I've been super lazy in the arena, but you can see over there at the top, I've got 1,060 coins. So I can easily buy myself 5 summons right away if I want to. And relic summons in here as well. I think you can even buy heroes in here. Yeah, you can. So you can literally buy Florentis, who's a legendary hero. You can buy a copy of Tristan, so you can give Tristan a duplicate. And you can buy this hero from here. Granted, you need about 8,500 coins, but if I've got 1,000 and I've been lazy, it shouldn't take you too long. So yeah, some awesome rewards from the arena. So do not leave that out. I know it might feel like a ball ache to have to go in and fight every time, but it really is worth it. So that is everything for now on my initial video. I know it might be a bit janky, so please do forgive me for that. But you know what? I'd rather it be janky and you get the general gist of what you'll be doing than, you know, just showing you some when I've got to like level 50 and I've got super duper maxed heroes and all the rest of it and you cannot relate to a word that I'm saying. So hopefully it's been helpful for some of you. If it has, then please do drop us a like, subscribe on the channel, share it with your mother, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.